and gentlemen, welcome to your AEW Dynamite live reactions. It is September 14th of 2022, and right now we've got Sammy Guevara and Jon Moxley going at it in the ring.
Yes, Moxley's so passionate about becoming the world champion again. He has said that, it is the ace that gets the ball, and he wants the ball. He was very angry about how All Out ended, losing the title to CM Punk, who, because of extraneous circumstances, had to relinquish the AEW world title. I don't want to get mired in all of that, because right now we are seeing Moxley versus Guevara, and Moxley is on one right now. He is feeling it. Paradigm shift? No. Man, that would have been a quick finish right there, chopped by Guevara. This is a big opportunity for Sammy. I think a lot of people in the ring see Sammy as a premier talent that can really get to that next level, but it's just all a matter of everything coming together for him. And tonight could be the start of that.
I'm wondering which one of us is ahead of the other.
I might be a little ahead of you. I don't know. I did have a little hiccup, though, so if anything, you might have pulled slightly out of me.
Oh, Moxley off the ropes. Sammy sends him through. Oh, no, Sammy off the ropes. Tope. That was like a through the ropes.
Cannonball there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And now over the top with a nice little corkscrew into the moonsault kind of thing.
Yeah, I'd say you're a little ahead of me because I just saw that moonsault like a second or two ago.
Okay.
A little kiss to the camera there.
Cool, yeah. I might not be very far ahead of you, though. So. Let me... Oh, I guess this is the part of the match that Moxley gets to bleed in.
I guess so.
Oh, all right, here we go. Tell me when Sammy does the curb stomp into the steps.
He just did it.
All right, cool. Picture in picture. Okay.
So if Guevara's in this match, that means he must have beaten Darby Allin on Rampage, that Rampage we skipped.
Correct.
I just was underwhelmed by it.
Yes.
So, honestly, fuck Darby Allin, and, I think I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I don't like Sammy either, but, I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of either one of these guys. I was at a point, but just them as people have turned me off of them as performers.
Yeah.
Sammy with the comments about Sasha. Not to mention the bullshit with Eddie.
Yeah.
And I don't even need to tell you about Darby. You already know.
Yeah. I mean, I say it with my whole chest every week, fuck Darby Allin, so.
So, today was your family day, right?
Yes.
That translates to you haven't been in the Discord all day, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So I had a really crazy revelation earlier today in the Discord that I posted that nobody's reacted to, and I wanted to say it to you and see what you thought about it.
Okay.
I literally have not played a console-exclusive video game since January 31st of 2008.
Damn.
January 31st, 2008 was when Super Smash Bros. Brawl came out, and that is the most recent console-exclusive video game that I have played in my life.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, being as close with you as I am personally, that's not too surprising, only because I've literally heard you joke, PC Master Race and stuff like that. I know you're all about those computer games, so, it doesn't surprise me that you've abstained from console engagement for 14 years. If you said 2008.
Well, yeah, dude, and almost 15 if you think about it, because we're closer to January 31st of 2023 than we are 2022.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
absolutely.
almost
So
15
yeah,
years. So what that basically translates to is I haven't played a game that is console exclusive that has come out in the last like almost 15 years. Like Super Smash Bros. Brawl is the one.
yeah, that's wild, man.
It's
I
fucking
mean,
insane, and I only bother to bring it up because I'm realizing how deprived I am. Because I like today I was watching videos about like different games that came out on like GameCube and Wii and Wii U and of course Switch. Which, dude, do you believe the Switch is over 5 years old already at this point? What the fuck?
that's fucking wild to think about, dude. I do just want to let you know that they're playing music out there. So if we need to switch to Discord, just let me know if you begin to hear it, and then we'll
I
just make
will,
the
yeah,
switch.
because I don't hear it yet, but that doesn't mean that I won't.
Exactly. And to be fair, it doesn't even mean you won't hear it on Discord. I just know that it's a lot. That, oh my
Jesus,
god,
the headlock driver.
on that apron. You know a move's impactful, and it just fully breaks a disparate chain of thought. Like, holy fuck. Just talking to you about technical stuff, and Moxley's like, oh, I've got technical stuff. I'm going to take a headlock. I'm going to drive this fucker's skull right into the apron. God damn.
We do have a little bit of activity in chat. Kavaja, Dragonman, Abel, and now Javaris are all here as well.
Welcome, everybody. Always great to hear from all of you. Man.
But yeah, dude, Switch is a 5-year-old console. That's fucking incredible to me.
I can't believe it's been that long already. That to me is more wild than your console stat. Again, only because I know you more personally and I know like kind of games you've been inclined towards. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you about the feeling of being deprived because like I think I really first felt a pang of that feeling when Mario Odyssey came out.
Dude, right?
Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
That
like,
trailer, dude, that trailer,
you know what
yeah.
made me feel it was that they're coming out. It Takes Two is coming to the Switch, and it just reminded me of how much fucking fun you and I had playing It Takes Two together live on Twitch for everyone to see. And like, A, I regret not saving that video and putting it on the channel, and B, it makes me want to do stuff like that more often.
Definitely.
Specifically though with games I haven't played before, because obviously I had never played It Takes Two prior to that, and like the only games that I ever really play these days are games that I've already played. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
Like I'm on this personal quest to actually beat all of the games that I played as a kid because I literally didn't beat games when I was a kid. I literally the only game that I can remember having ever beaten when I was a child are the Pokemon like mainline franchise games like Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal, all the way up to I think Diamond and Pearl and nothing after that even.
Right.
I just didn't beat games. I never played games all the way to completion, and I'm like, what the fuck was wrong with me? Why didn't I finish games?
I don't know if you guys ever had this arrogance. I've definitely. Oh, speaking of arrogance, what a cutter there by Guevara. And he's going to try and go into the cover here.
Nope.
2. And Moxley kicks out. We know Moxley's going to take a hell of a lot to take him out of this tournament here. He wants to be a 3-time champion so bad, like he needs air to breathe. But yeah, what I was going to say before that admittedly beautiful cutter by Guevara here, as you see on the replay. The arrogance of like, oh, I didn't beat this game as a kid, but I'm older now. It'll be a breeze, and the game is still just as hard, if not even harder in some respects.
Yeah, dude.
Like, that is so fucking humbling when that happens.
I experienced that recently with Super Mario Sunshine. Super Mario Sunshine is a really fun game, and I love it. But the special levels where you don't get FLUDD to navigate, and it's like almost like, you're it's like a straight up pure platform level, are hard as fuck.
Yeah, dude, I experienced that. Donkey Kong 64 was one time. Mega Man X was another time.
You said Donkey Kong 64 was the one that was like a true 3D platformer, right?
Yeah.
Because it's Donkey Kong
most
Country
Donkey Kong games were like the side scroller.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah. So, I experienced it with Donkey Kong 64, Mega Man X, which actually, I've been thinking about that game a lot lately. I wish we still had our Super Nintendo, because I'd love to give that game another try. That game was hard as fuck.
Dude, Mega Man games in general are a lot harder than I thought. Like, because I had, when I was a teenager, I had Mega Man Zero on GBA, and I was pretty good at it, and I enjoyed like the weapon system and stuff. I tried playing it again recently, and it's legitimately fucking harder now than it was then. Like, what the fuck? Oh,
yeah,
that's
dude.
wild. I think. Well, that's the thing though. Mega Man games have always kind of been known as like one of the most difficult games to be released in the West. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
like each game is kind of known for something, right? Like Super Mario is kind of known for its innovation. Sonic is known for like the speed and the spinning and like the satisfactory stuff, you know, that kind of thing. And then, you know, Donkey Kong is more well known for having just amazing visuals and just looking awesome. You know, but
Right.
like, wait a minute, is Sammy about to win this?
I'm a little scared.
I don't think so. I think Mox is getting out of
One,
this.
two. Okay, he did.
Thank God.
But anyway, yeah. But yeah, like Mega Man, I feel like is the franchise that's most known for being the difficult one. Like that's the one with difficulty as like it's sort of, you know, calling card.
Yeah.
Prior
yeah,
to
for
Souls
sure.
games coming out, at least, because now it's the Souls games that have that as its calling card.
And see, I must be a masochist on some level because I actually have been tempted to try a Soul Calibur game, but then again, like
no,
I
not
think
Soul
about,
Calibur.
like, what...
Dark Souls. Those games.
No, you and I are speaking the same thing because that's what I mean.
Oh, well, Soul Calibur is a completely different franchise.
Well, yeah, did I say so? I just thought I said like, did I say Soul Calibur?
You said
'Cause
Soul
if I did,
Calibur,
I
yeah.
misspoke. Well, then I misspoke because
Oh.
I've played Soul Calibur and that's fun. No, I meant Dark Souls. But then about like, I just really don't care about games that much anymore. Like I even said to you, like GTA 5, that's probably never gonna happen for me, just because like I don't have the capacity for it on my computer. Value my computer for other things.
Right.
Like I look at my computer essentially as like a research tool. Like I use up all that space for PDFs and shit.
Right.
So like yeah, I'm just kind of out of my gaming phase, which doesn't mean like in 5 years I wouldn't get back into it and be like, man, I just want to fucking play video games, but I'm just not
That's
there.
the
And I went
literal.
down.
That's been my mood for the last like couple weeks at least.
Yeah, and I can't blame you for it, man. There really is a lot of good shit out there, whether you're talking from indie developers or like main companies.
No, but
And
for
dude,
me,
the crazy
dude, that's
thing
the
is when
thing
you've
though.
been-
That's the reason I brought this up is because I haven't been in a PC gaming mood lately. I've been in a console gaming mood lately.
Well, and here's the wild thing, bro. When you get in that kind of mood like you're in now, and like I may get in the future, there is such a backlog. Like I've wanted to play like the Uncharted games, for instance.
Really?
Red Dead
Okay.
Redemption.
Dude,
Yeah.
I actually have never played the Uncharted games before, but there are these things where they'll take all of like the cutscenes and like streamline the gameplay to make an Uncharted movie out of the video game.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. And I've watched the first like 3 or 4 of those. And it looks like Moxley won, by the way. Our stream went down, and by the time we came back, he was already, you know, getting his hand held high.
Yeah.
So Moxley wins.
Is it gonna be him and Danielson in the final?
Yeah, I think it is going to be him and Danielson in the final, and I think Danielson's going to win because Moxley beat Danielson the last time they met.
Yeah.
Plus, then that'll allow Moxley to take his vacation that he's been wanting to take.
All right.
Javara said that he's really hoping for Mox versus Danielson.
I think we're all hoping for that, friend.
Yeah, I mean it just makes sense, honestly. Moxley Jericho, just I don't know. It feels almost like contrived in a way, whereas Moxley Danielson, it almost feels too natural. Like it almost feels like it's the perfect like glove on the hand kind of fit.
Yeah.
Because it's been, God, what? Has it been 8 months since? Was there a match at Revolution or Double or Nothing?
It was a Revolution, I believe.
Because then, if that's the case, it would be almost 8 months since, or no, 7
Yeah.
7 months, 7 almost actually 6 or 7, 6.5, 7. And yeah, it was at Revolution. I thought Revolution was a January pay-per-view, but it happened March 6th this year. God damn. So even still, it's been 6 months since their last singles match, and they've been on BCC, so they've been more teaming up than going against each other. So I do definitely think that a rematch is in order, and I think that Danielson is due for the win so that they can build up to an eventual rubber match at some point.
Yeah, I mean I'm in complete agreement with you all the way down the line.
They might go with Moxley just to roll with MJF. Like, have Moxley be almost like a transitional champion, and then MJF is like the champion they're really trying to get. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. If they're really committed to MJF being their guy and like being the next like face of the company, basically, it'll be Moxley. But if they just want to do what makes the most sense for the company and for the story and kind of a stabilizing force, I do think Danielson is the way to go. Plus, it's a good opportunity to just get Danielson the title to be able to have him on your list of former champions. Because, like, he is getting older. His career isn't going to last forever. And you don't want to be like, oh, we'll get to it, we'll get to it, we'll get to it, we'll get to it. And then he retires. And it's like, fuck, we never got to it.
Yeah.
No time like the present for some guys. And Danielson's one of those guys in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been hyped about MJF getting the rub that he's getting, but given the recent events of his fucking assholish behavior, can't exactly co-sign enthusiastically on that anymore. And so, yeah,
there are
Danielson
not going to
was
be
definitely
any
option.
even tiny consequences because A, they're going to write it off as him being in character, and B, I don't think that they're going to see it as an endorsement of transphobia. And C, even if they did, Hager's already on the fucking roster, and he's openly transphobic, so they don't give a fuck.
Yeah. And, like, that's the thing I want people to understand, because a lot of people were confused, like, even at the very direct tweets that I put out, like, you know, because, again, I have been a vocal supporter of MJF. I don't even believe that the dude is genuinely transphobic. I do believe he's doing it ironically, but, like, that's not the fucking point. It's the same way when on 4chan people would, like, ironically post Nazi shit, but then it welcomed the unironic Nazis, and then you couldn't tell the difference anymore because the difference never mattered in the first place.
And speak
Like,
of the devil,
fuck
and
all
he
that
shall
shit.
appear, and I don't even say that with a touch of sarcasm or irony because he's literally referred to himself as the devil. Max is here.
All right, well, unlike other acts, I'm not going to completely ignore him yet. I'm actually curious what he's going to have to say here. So let's fucking see how it goes.
Why is he all pissy now?
I have no idea.
What?
Is it because he said your theme music sucks? I mean, I like his theme, by the way, if I'm just being fully honest, but yeah. Oh, so he's pissed because Moxley doesn't fear him.
I think my stream went down.
Mine too. Yeah, if yours did, mine definitely did.
Yep, there we go.
The stream's like, no one's tougher than me. Fuck you. I'll shut this whole goddamn thing down.
You good?
Maybe.
We're back.
Or, you know, maybe Moxley's just been on one since he's been back from fucking rehab or, you know, whatever, just getting clean, which he has been. so we're doing this.
Oh my god. This dude is so far up his own ass, I swear to God. Dragon Man's doing the thing.
Yeah.
This dude needs to change it up. For real. This screaming shit is so fucking over. And I don't mean over in the good wrestling way. I mean over like 1985 over. Like 30 years past when it was acceptable poor over.
Oh, so he's going to talk about Stokely's faction. Oh, Stokely and MJF best friends. Oh, that's what we're doing.
Oh yeah, dude, they actually do have history. Stokely was his manager long before they both ended up in AEW. Long before either one of them ended up in AEW.
Well, I do like that they're utilizing that. That is actually a pretty cool piece of history.
I guess sympathy for the devil is a one-time thing.
Yeah.
Good lord.
Oh, damn.
Why are the ass boys both topless? No one wants to see that.
If they actually stick to that notion, that's actually pretty ingenious. I always hate factions where one person clearly benefits and everybody else suffers. Never lasts long. Stokely speaking to all the short kings out there. Respect.
And now my stream went down. God damn it.
God damn it. Now I went down. Because I knew my time was coming the moment you said it. It was just...
Oh, man. Starting to be kind of at that point where I'm just kind of over AEW again, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you know what I messaged you before we even got on. I even asked if we had to do this tonight. My cat was giving me cuddles. I'd rather still be there than here. Like, I love Stokely, though, to be fair. But my cat's too damn cute.
That hug.
Yeah, you're ahead of me. I haven't seen a hug or anything. Oh, I saw it. What a visual. Morrissey's like, all right, I love you too. I love you. That should be your fucking workhorse in this faction right here. He needs to win the pure title. Fuck yeah, Stokely. Yes. Yes. I mean, fuck the ass boys, but I'm loving the sermon that Stokely is laying out right now.
Run with us or run from us?
Well, I love that. The firm. And I just heard the catchphrase there, but I love it. I love it. Stokely's so good, y'all. Stokely is so fucking good.
Oh, Stokely.
What a king.
Yeah.
He's a paradigm of masculinity for all of us. Thank you, Stokely.
Oh my god.
Wait, was that at me or the Jungle Boy stuff? I'm just trying to have a good time over here.
At the Jungle Boy stuff, at the Jungle Boy stuff.
Alright.
You live your
That's
best
understandable.
life,
This dude fucking sucks.
Yeah, you live your best life, King.
Yeah, thank you. I'm like, I didn't do nothing. But no, Jungle Boy. Do I even have him as my placeholder for worst face right now just because his promos have been genuinely bad and toxic masculinity? Yeah, like, it's taking a while for my awards to load because I'm on that shit tier internet. But, yeah, I'm going to have to look. I will say, though, guys, I'm so excited to share my awards with you when we get there. I know we still got several months left and a lot can change, but I have never put more effort into awards lists than this one. Like, there are a lot of honorable mentions for different categories. I like my winners for each category, mainly because I remember to record them and it's fucking fresh and valid. So yeah, I'm really excited for this. Oh, look. Jungle Boy. Woo.
Punk ass.
Dude, totally. I'll show you, Christian. Nobody disrespects my dad. Except he literally did. And he got away with it. He beat you at all out despite being injured. Because your pet dinosaur fucking traded up. Little bitch.
Oh, he's going against Lethal.
Hope he loses. That's
Don't we
my
all?
response to that.
Don't
Yeah.
we all?
God, I'm noticing a trend where Jungle Boy comes after things that I find far more compelling on the program. So, for example, when Christian would cut a promo, who would interrupt? Jungle Boy, and if not him, Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
And now, we just got done having Stokely giving the most beautiful sermon that didn't even involve God that I've ever heard in my fucking life.
It didn't involve
and
God? I thought God was the one talking.
Yes, but who comes immediately after that when I feel so inspired to live my best life? Fucking Jungle Boy.
You know what? I've arrived at a conclusion for Jungle Boy.
What's that?
He needs to suck less or stop trying.
Spot on. See, I gotta tell you, the biggest compliment I could give you, at least relative to this stream, that is a man right there, the way you just acted. That's a man that's living by the Stokely Hathaway word. Good looking out, King. Good looking out.
Tell me when our collar and elbow happens for this match, by the way.
Sure. There it is.
Oh, fuck. Okay, that was fast. Jesus Christ. I was not expecting it to be that quick. Okay. You know what I'm really fucking looking forward to?
What's that?
Stardom tomorrow.
Dude, fucking sweet. I can't wait either.
Yeah.
What time are we doing the first show, by the way, since we agreed to do a doubleheader? Is that going to be like a 4 o'clock thing?
Oh, wait. I forgot that we were doing a doubleheader. I thought we were just going to do one tomorrow and one Friday. Let me check the schedule real quick. I think...
Wait, is that? Because I know you genuinely asked me if you just wanted to do both on Thursday
No,
and then do
I know
Friday.
I asked you that I know that I asked you, but I blanked on that when I made the schedule, so I have the schedule as not showing that.
Okay.
I think it depends, though. It depends on how long the pay-per-view show is. If the pay-per-view show is over, like... Let's say if the pay-per-view show is over, like, 3 hours... Let's just do them on separate days, because I'm not trying to do, like, 5-6 hours worth of reactions in one day, you know?
Yeah.
We'll add up the time of the pay-per-view and figure it out. If it's under 3 hours, we'll do that at, like, 4, and then we'll do the other one at 7.
Yeah. Kind of over the doubleheader, because I know Chris was excited when I told him, like, Friday should just be like a Discord day, because I know we've just been skipping Rampage lately, to do a big thing of our D&D campaign, because we haven't been able to do it in a while. It's funny, like, yours didn't happen last night, and we just haven't been able to do ours in a while either. So,
Gotcha.
trying to get back on that, but yeah, Javaris, I gotta tell you, if Sanjay's doing, you know what, do I even want to go there? Nah, I think I'm gonna pass.
Oh.
I was gonna reply to your comment, but I'm like, no, you know what, I gotta be the bigger person, so... Because God knows Jungle Boy can't shoulder responsibility.
God, Javaris, I hate capitalism so much. You shouldn't have to work overtime to fucking survive. It's such garbage.
No.
Frankly, you shouldn't have to work at all in order to survive.
Yeah, like, we need to really have a conversation, not just about the concept of work, but how it's particularly
I am so
used
sorry for interrupting you, John. You can get back to that, but I just have to point out, Jay Lethal is a consummate fucking professional, and that was an impressive as hell save. Did you see what he just did?
No, I didn't catch it, so please explain.
He lifted Jungle Boy up for a backbreaker over the top turnbuckle, lost his balance, and rather than pulling a Charlotte and just dropping Jungle Boy on the top turnbuckle and hoping for the best, he grabbed the rope, stabilized himself, and then did a proper backbreaker over the top turnbuckle.
Amazing.
That
Hey,
I know that there's some shit about Jay Lethal that we don't like and that is despicable, but that was fucking great. I am like, that's the kind of shit that people need to be learning in wrestling classes when they're training to become wrestlers.
oh, dude, absolutely. Because here's the reality of what you said. It shouldn't need to be said, but we live in a culture where it really does. And that's kind of the sad reality, because you've got to protect the person you're working with.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't protect the person you're working with, which is the bare fucking minimum, again, I can't stress that enough, you're worthless. Forget having a future in this business. You don't belong anywhere in this business. So that was really cool that he protected him like that. But yeah, I just wanted to say in response to your point, because I completely agree with everything you said to Javaris, not only do we need to interrogate the very concept of work, because a lot of people, I hate how right the Overton window is, because usually when you say you're anti-work, it's like, oh, you're lazy, you just want to sit around, smoke pot, and eat Doritos, or whatever the fuck. And it's like, no, like, society wouldn't stop if you ended wage slavery, like in the Marxist sense of like needing a wage to extract labor. You know, there are people that study medicine or any trade, whether engineering, arts, whatever the fuck, because they're genuinely passionate about it.
Yeah, dude, that's my thing. I
yeah.
feel like capitalism acts more as a barrier to people who are passionate about fields that would progress humankind than as a platform.
Oh, dude, 1,000%. Like, let me just be crystal clear. I know it doesn't seem like related to what we're talking about, and maybe it isn't, but I would still argue it's tangential. We're in an anti-intellectual society, not just because of the overt conservatism that's taking over, and not even just because of like all the book banning that's happening, which librarians have said they haven't seen efforts like this in over 30 years. Like, student debt as a concept, as like a reality, is also like huge for an anti-intellectual society, because I think, like you said, it's a deterrent, and it really just makes people be like, you know, I'd love to go to medical school. The human body fascinates me. The way diseases operate fascinates me. But it's just too much money. And so now you just made a prospective doctor, give up on their dream because the money was too high.
Well, yeah.
And it was a financial barrier.
Exactly.
Like, that's sickening to me.
Well, and not only that, but like,
Yeah,
even
like-
people who have already graduated, people that are already in the field, people that already know how to solve certain problems don't have the fucking funding for it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that,
Exactly.
you guys got to realize that's the whole thing with the COVID vaccine, right? The COVID vaccine wasn't rushed. They weren't like, oh, we need this stat. We need you to do this as quickly as possible. We don't care if it's good or not. They were like, we need something that works. Here are all the resources you could possibly need to get this done. How soon can you get this done? And they said, like, oh, year and a half. And they had it fucking done within the year and a half window that they said they would, because they weren't strapped for time, for cash, for resources. They got everything that they could have possibly needed. And the thing is, it wasn't just one company that got it either. There were multiple different companies that got the kind of funding and resources that they needed to be able to make a vaccine. And we ended up with, like, what was it, 5 different vaccines, at least 2 or 3 of which were consistently reliable?
And not only that, the technology that was developed for those vaccines is going to have so many other applications.
Yeah,
now.
the
And
mRNA
it shows
stuff,
you how-
right?
Yeah, exactly. And it just shows you how deeply broken our society is, where, like, you talking about those barriers, and those barriers getting out of the way leads to such amazing medical and scientific progress.
Yep.
And to such a point where the conspiratorial consciousness takes over.
Yep.
And it's like, something has to be wrong, microchips, all, like the usual rhetoric. And it's like, man, our society is so sick. Like, anybody...
Yeah.
And I
It
say
really
this,
does make
I
you
say
wonder,
this
though,
more,
like, if heart disease or cancer cures were prioritized anywhere close to the level that the COVID vaccine was, how quickly would we get one?
Yeah. And that's the thing. And that, I think, should be the new line rather than, oh, a cure already exists. They don't want to sell it. Because I understand, like, I had a friend talk about, like, why that's pretty reductive scientifically and stuff and does hinge on the conspiratorial. But I think that alternative, what you just said right there, I think that's more than valid. Because I think it speaks to the structural issues with intellectual enterprises, we'll say broadly, whether medical, engineering, whatever. I saw another thing recently that's like, we already live in post scarcity. Like, we have the technology to overcome scarcity.
Yep.
We just don't prioritize that because it's not profitable.
Yep.
Like, I was talking
dude,
to
you sent me that video, or not video, that article about how they 3D printed a house in one day.
Yeah, dude. I was having like a conversation with Shay about it, and I told him, like, because the conversations we fucking get into, and I'm like, dude, homelessness has now become a problem that's a willful problem.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a time where it wasn't. That's absolutely true.
Homelessness
Not anymore.
is not voluntary on the individual level. Homelessness is voluntary on the systemic level.
Exactly. And I told him,
an individual doesn't choose to be homeless. The system allows them to stay homeless.
Yeah. Oh, Jungle Boy actually going for the unprettier here.
Beautiful lethal combination there by Jay.
Yeah, I just saw it, so you're a little ahead of me. But yeah, I mean, no, you're absolutely right about that, because the old argument from the left was, there are more vacant homes than there are homeless people.
Yeah.
But I understand the rebuke where it's like, well, some of those houses aren't up to code and they may not be safe. Fine. Just 3D print the fucking homes then. Like,
no, literally, even if you want to make it like a space issue, if a home isn't up to codes, tear the thing down and 3D print a new one in its place.
Exactly. Repossess and reconfigure the land for more robust property. And how, while you're doing that, maybe do it for the fucking indigenous people that we colonized and we leave with fucking contaminated ass fucking water.
Yeah.
And shit. Like, none of this stuff, and I get it. I'm doing the bare, like, online leftism of, like, just talking about this stuff. But it's just so fucking frustrating because we don't have to live with these issues. I mean, I have people that hate where they fucking work, and, like, they shouldn't even have the barriers to their work that they do, or even have to work the jobs that they do, because these issues shouldn't be a fucking problem. Hearing about elderly people getting evicted from their homes, or people just losing their homes because they can't pay bills, like, who the fuck organized this? Like, well, obviously I know the answer to that. I'm just saying rhetorically in anger,
all the rich
like, who the
white
fuck
dudes.
organized a site like this? Yeah, exactly. And it's like, Jesus Christ. And you know what? They are so insecure. Like, I know this isn't really a political point. This is just me, like, wanting to kick shit in their face. These people are so fucking insecure. Did he just win? Did Jungle Boy just fucking beat Jay Lethal? Wow.
He did, dude, but I love that there's people in the crowd that have signs that say super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Yeah.
Have you seen those videos?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I haven't seen the videos, but I'm seeing the signs right now, actually, yeah.
No, there are videos that are like, what are they called? They're like production meetings or board meetings or something. There's this dude on YouTube that makes them about almost every movie that comes out, where they talk about like what the movie's going to be and what the plot's going to be and stuff. And in every single one of them, whenever he's able to bring up a sort of plot convenience where you would expect something to be really difficult to do, and we just kind of skim past it being done, the sort of managerial version of himself would be like, oh, so I bet that's going to be a real challenge, and then the guy pitching it is always just like, no, super easy, barely an inconvenience, and it's the same tone in every single video. That's a great reference by whoever that was in the crowd with that sign. There were two people, so obviously it was a group. Pitch meeting. That's what it's called. Pitch meeting.
Yeah. Man, Cavaggio bringing the fucking energy though. He's like, Lethal, get fucked, and I'm like, whoa.
And meanwhile, we're getting to see Hook and Action Bronson training for their big match against the fucking 2.0 goons.
We are sweaty, intense men, and we're ready to beat some ass.
Mark in chat said that his friend just told him that his mortgage was sold to someone else and his auto pay wasn't even included, so they sent him an eviction notice.
Jesus Christ.
Uh-oh, Danhausen. Boy, that's an AEW dark match if I've ever seen one.
What are you doing, AEW? You know what? Oh, God. I did have that joke earlier about George being like, Sunday needs to lay off the crack. Maybe fucking Tony Khan shouldn't leave his drugs out in the open. Like, I'm sorry. I've watched enough videos where I really am starting to believe it. I didn't really indulge it at first because I thought it was just people being petty, even though, I mean, fuck billionaires anyway. Like, be petty to them all you want. But, like, something's going on over there because who the fuck is co-signing this shit?
Yeah.
But
Bro, Javaris, that's exactly what I'm saying. We need Twitwell Island to become a real thing and not just a meme.
yeah, heterotopias are the fucking future, people. Like,
What is that?
lands. It's a concept, like a pirate ship is kind of a heterotopia in a way. It's like a plot of land or a ship or just whatever that like lies within the world, so it abides by some laws but not by others, so you still have that space in between to make your own rules. So you're not completely free, and I don't think an island would be completely free either. But like, you know, you have more autonomy than you would in in this kind of state that we're in right now. So like, when I say it's the future, what I really say it's the logical next step. I mean, obviously, the ultimate step, we say it all the time, and it'll probably never happen in our fucking lifetimes. But you know what, though? I will say, I'm seeing a lot of agitation for people. But I guess that's always, like, on a more technical level, why I worry about democratic socialism. Because, like, obviously, I like what's happening with the unions, and I like people like Nina Turner. And AOC is like, okay, I kind of side-eye her a lot. But, I mean, she's a good figurehead for stuff like that. And Bernie got the ball rolling and stuff like that. But I worry that, like, with the success, which is obviously better than nothing, which is the fucking thing that I'm caught in, that because it is ultimately a reformist movement, that any revolutionary embers that would have been bubbling up just, like, go away. But at the same time, I'm not a fucking accelerationist either. Like, I don't have this idea of, like, no, we need more homelessness, more disease, because, like, I don't want a mountain of corpses to get us to revolution. It shouldn't take that to get us there.
Yeah.
So it frustrates me because there are movements going on that, while positive, I do still look at as ultimately reformist, which I think kill revolutionary fervor. But at the same time, again, I'm not an accelerationist, so I want to put a stopgap to all this because things are running fucking amok, and the revolution isn't coming any faster with that either. So it's like, what the fuck do you do?
Yeah.
And it sucks. It really sucks.
I think the first, second, and third steps really are just direct action.
Oh, dude, absolutely. And that's where I still have, because I am studying, like, Marxism more, and I really am getting deep into, like, more theory so that I can have a weightier position other than just my eyes and my ears seeing the world burn. But that is still one thing that I find very attractive about anarchism, is just the idea of direct action. Like, I remember one of the first sayings I heard when I was turning towards anarchism was, you don't ask the government to build the well when your people need water. You go and you build the fucking well yourself, like you and your community.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. And you know what, though? The only reason that I understand, again, when you actually look at material conditions, is when people do try and exercise self-determination, the state, with its power being the monopoly on violence through the military and a militarized police force, can leverage that. And, like, that's not a discourse. That's what because that's one thing, like, nothing against Shay. I tell the guy all the time, I do like the one-to-one talks I have with him, but he's a big believer in discourse. And the one thing I tell him, and he does, to his credit, agree with, it's like, you can't have discourse with every entity. Like, it's literally impossible to have a discourse with the state, because the moment the state doesn't like the discourse, like they did with Roe v. Wade being repealed and people being justifiably fucking angry about that, you could put snipers atop the Supreme Court. And so you leverage that, right, just so that the discourse stays within bounds that are palatable to you and your interests. And that's disgusting to me. So, like, we can't act like we have a state, we have a social organization that allows for maximum self-determination, because literally ask any fucking marginalized person, and it fucking blows. I mean, Dragon Man, there have literally been studies that the more money you gain, like the wealthier you become, the more your empathy is reduced. Like, it is amazing to me. And I think I even read this as a quote once, and it stuck with me ever since. Like, a person that collects cats, we call a crazy cat lady. A person that, like, never lets go of objects, we call a hoarder. But a person that dedicates their whole life to amassing money, we put on the cover of Forbes magazine, and we call them an icon. We valorize, to me, what's just as much an addiction and an illness as being an alcoholic or a heroin addict or being a hoarder. Like, I really look at this obsession with wealth accumulation as a genuine disease.
Yeah.
It's really, really, yeah. It's wild. Here is fucking Hobbs. Look at all that meat.
Is he going against Pillman Jr.? No, he's going against someone even smaller and skinnier than Pillman Jr. This guy, Matt DiMartino, making his AEW debut. Someone remind me why this match couldn't have been on Dark, and yet, you know, the fucking main event of AEW Dark Elevation this week was Athena versus Emi Sakura. And that couldn't be on Dynamite.
This match brought by Red Lobster because that boy's fucking shrimp. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
Oh, yeah, you had a weird internet thing there, but you seem to be back in normal.
Oh, you might not have even heard what I said then. I made a joke.
I know, I heard
said,
you say that about
this
the
match
Red
brought to you
Lobster,
by Red
shrimp
Lobster
stuff.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Okay.
Did you hear me?
And it's over already. There's a spine buster. Yeah, I did. Like, why this match wasn't on Dark over, like, Hikaru Shida. And I think you said Emi Sakura as well.
No, it wasn't Shida, it was Athena.
And yeah, like, this is why we have a... Oh, Athena! Yeah. It is funny, though, because Shida before All Out was on Dark as well, so, like, that honestly still kind of fits. Yeah, like, women just keep getting disrespected over this useless crap, but Hobbs is going to cut a promo, so... I'll stick that on.
Bro, your internet is fucked right now.
Yep. Should we switch to Discord or what?
No, I don't think we need to.
Oh, I mean, because you literally just said that it's fucked, and I know normally when that happens we switch, so I just thought I would ask.
Oh, well, I just meant, like, your internet, like, you were robotic. I don't think that would stop happening on Discord, do you?
No, I mean, possibly not.
Okay, yeah, let's switch to Discord. Fuck it. There's a long delay now. Hello? Are you there, John?
I am here. My ping is fucking awful right now, but it's slowly stabilizing, I think.
Boy, I sure hope you're right, because this do be rough.
And now we got Ricky Starks coming out.
Yum. You there, bro? John, are you still there?
I'm still here, friend.
Okay.
Ping is oscillating wildly right now,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I was saying, speaking of Athena, I just found out that Tony was supposed to team with Hikaru Shida tonight, but due to Britt Baker and Rebels attacking her on this week's AEW Dark, she is stepping in for her. I mean, I like Athena, so I won't be too angry about it, but I really do like Shida, and I wish she'd get treated better than this.
cannot believe this match is happening already. I feel like this should have been the main event, but it's probably going to be Jericho Danielson.
Yeah, that's definitely main eventing tonight, I would think.
Here we go. Swerve in our glory.
I'll give AEW credit for that. This should be fucking fire.
Absolutely.
Very much looking forward to this. Keith Lee feeling confident. I know Keith Lee and Swerve stand on opposite sides of each other with how they act to their opposition. Keith obviously very respectful. I think he takes the Acclaim seriously. I think he's a fighting and spirited champion without being disrespectful. Swerve, on the other hand, is like, man, fuck these guys. But I will say, even Swerve's got to be satisfied with the competition. Those are fucking legit.
They are pretty awesome, especially Phoenix.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, I think I'll look for that arm break early. Man, Swerve knows all about that, though. They wore in Lucha Underground.
You know what? That makes me wonder if they've ever wrestled before. I don't remember.
I don't remember either, honestly.
Oh, man. Never in singles. Although they did have one match in singles in MLW, but never a singles match in Lucha Underground. They were in a trios match where it was the family, so Big Rick, Killshot, and the Mac versus Pentagon, Sexy Star, and Superfly. And the family actually won that. And then the only other two matches that both Swerve and Pentagon were in that actually were aired after that were an Aztec Medallion 7-way that Phoenix won. So it was at the beginning of season 2, I would imagine. Oh no, it was episode 27 of season 1, and then Aztec Warfare season 4, which happened on episode 1 of season 4. Those are the only matches that those two guys were ever both in Lucha Underground history.
Okay.
And they've only ever had one singles match, and it was for the MLW World Heavyweight title, and it was Shane Strickland defending successfully against Pentagon Jr. That was back in 2018, so over 4 years ago. Wild.
Phoenix trying the arm drag on Keith, able to make the tag to Pentagon. Pentagon, they're kicking Keith in the head. Then kick to the back of the head there. Here comes Pentagon. Double kicks.
Mark said, is he the only one that's going to be mad if Swerve and Keith lose the title belts to the Acclaimed? And then Dragon Man just said, no, that pisses me off too. You know, that would definitely be annoying. I would just kind of instinctively want to look on the bright side of, okay, Now the tag titles are on the Acclaimed, but now Swerve and Keith can have their feud with each other and put them some absolute banger matches against each other, and then go their own ways and do really well, hopefully both in singles, because I prefer them both in singles over the tag team anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, to say angry, I think would be a bit of an overstatement for me, because I do like the Acclaimed. I would be disappointed because I would feel like both teams would get cheated. Because I feel like Keith and Swerve should be more dominant in this tag, and I feel like the Acclaimed deserve a better build to those titles. So, yeah. Nice uppercut there by Swerve. What talent. And now mocking Penta. Oh, God. Oh, man. Swerve would be an amazing singles like man. He'll just take a fucking chance on him.
Oh my god. What a save by Swerve. That was sick.
Absolutely. Like I said, he's so fucking good. Or Swerve. That's the thing. You even said very recently, didn't you, that if Swerve would really just really get platformed as a singles guy, he'd probably be your number one guy in wrestling. Like, he'd be in that Danielson territory.
100%.
What a sling blade by Penta.
Every time Swerve has ever gotten a singles push as a heel, he has absolutely catapulted up my rankings, and he's been number one, or at least close to it every time. Like,
Yeah.
heel kill shot was my absolute favorite thing in wrestling when that was happening in season 4. And, you know, heel Swerve with Hit Row was one of my absolute favorite things in all of wrestling, and clearly just far and away my favorite thing in NXT at the time that was going too.
What a unique pin breakup by Keith.
Just
Catching
throws
Phoenix and
out.
then throwing him into the pin attempt by Penta.
He just threw a dude at another dude.
Man, Keith, you dominant.
Tag to Big Keith. Shoulder block. Phoenix is going to dive on him again. Bruh, did you not learn the first time? What are you doing? Holy headbutt, damn.
Shot to the face.
Oh, wow.
Great defense here by Penta here, trying to protect Phoenix. Super kick.
Phoenix is about to do some crazy shit. Spanish fly, wow.
Beautiful.
And Penta with the... Jesus Christ. The step-up flip pile driver on Keith Lee. Pin, 2,
That was beautiful.
kick out.
Just saw the kick out there. So you're just a tiny bit ahead of me, as I expected, given that I've been having a lot of hiccups and internet stuff here. But Phoenix now back on the apron.
That
we're
would be
pushing
it.
Phoenix
Round
off.
0, and it's over.
Damn. Okay.
As fun as that match was, I honestly feel like that was shorter than it should have been.
Yeah, I definitely should have made an event and got at least, like, I would even say 10 more
Yeah,
minutes.
I don't say that about most matches. Most matches are either I don't comment on the length or I just say they're too long. Especially in AEW, where almost all of the time they have matches go way too goddamn long. Especially tag team matches, especially tag title matches. But this match to me was actually too short. And now here come the Acclaimed, and this I guess we know why now because the Acclaimed had to get their shit in. This week, just a very serious wrestling promo, and I approve. It was good shit.
Change it up every once in a while, and this is definitely a change up for the better. I love the raps, but yeah, this shows. They're not taking Swerve and Our Glory lightly. I will agree with you, though, that I think the Lucha Bros title events they just had was too short, especially when the Acclaims match at All Out was significantly longer, I feel like. And in a way, I understand it. You know, it's a pay-per-view. You want to get the pay-per-view value since it's still like $60 and shit. AEW isn't on a streaming model yet for their pay-per-views. Which is really where WWE, I think, is a significant edge over competing wrestling brands. It's like, you know, the sooner you can get on that, the better. And there's Pac.
Is Ethan Page going to attack him? Since we know he wants the AEW
Well,
title.
I don't think he's going to attack him yet because he's going to deal with Danhausen on Friday.
Orange Cassidy?
Gave Pac some vitamin C.
That was heelish. What the hell?
That glass of orange juice definitely had some pulp. I don't like pulp. That's why I was pretty much agreeing with you that it was pretty heelish.
I don't like pulp either. Honestly, people who do like pulp, I really have to really just question whether they are. Never mind. They're just psychopaths. What can I say?
Dude, I was gonna say the thing is, like, anybody that likes pulp in their orange juice looks at Patrick Bateman as a male role model. Like, I don't trust it.
Yeah. I was really trying to come up with a way to put it that was, like, not ableist at all, but I was just like, you know what? Society hasn't caught up with it yet. I'm just going to say what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Ashton's like, I still got time. The show has sucked tonight.
Yes.
Maybe sucked is too harsh, but I felt bored by it. I don't know about you, man. I felt bored for most of it.
Well, it's been a lot of promos, which are not fun to react to, and a lot of them have been interrupted by our stream going down, which is also not fun to do or take care of or not react to. And the matches have all either been... Well, no, actually, I'm just going to say it straight up. All the matches have been too short, oddly enough.
Yeah.
It's like a Bizarro World episode of Dynamite, because most of the time the matches are all way too fucking long. But tonight they've been too damn short. And also, I really just have to question the actual selection of matches that we've gotten, because Hobbs versus Jobber does not need to happen on television.
No, it does not. No, it does not at all.
I appreciate your
I
enthusiasm.
like Hobbs too, man, but it was pointless.
Mark in chat said, "Don't blame Chicago when AEW pay-per-view crowds are fans from all over, just like WrestleMania crowds. Punk wasn't even unanimously cheered. Moxley got a good 40% of the crowd there."
Yeah.
I will say, that might be true, but I feel like if they would have been literally anywhere other than Chicago, Punk would have been lucky to get 10% of the crowd with the way that that match had been built to.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. God, especially that go home segment.
Britt? Oh, they showed her beating down Sheeta, or implying that she beat down Sheeta. And now we're getting Athena instead of Sheeta. Even though I like both of them, frankly, I would rather Sheeta miraculously show up and replace Tony now. And we can just get Sheeta and Athena versus Britt and Rebel. Wait, Britt and... Who's Britt teaming with again?
Um, I don't know.
I genuinely don't know. Oh, Serena, that's right. Serena, and here she comes.
Also, do I want to be that guy right now?
Please, I want you to. I don't want you to hold back at all.
Sometimes I worry, man, because I know with AEW, like, I think it was Emi Sakura that talked about this, like, last year, maybe a year and a half ago, where it's like, oh, it's hard because they let you do whatever you want, but for, like, transplants to America that are coming, like, from Japan or whatever, that can be harder because of the language barrier and stuff,
Yeah.
and, like, at the same time, I don't think Sheeta necessarily has that problem because I think her English has gotten better. My worry for Sheeta is more... She did have that clap back on Britt on Twitter recently, and I don't know. I'm guessing the politics in AEW seem to be a lot worse than WWE, given the shit that we're hearing about recently.
Yeah.
And I only think WWE is getting better because Vince is gone. Like, they removed at least a cancerous tumor. Maybe not the cancer entire, but a big-ass fucking tumor. And I don't know. Like, again, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to, like, spread around unfounded shit. But, like, I have to wonder if Britt has got as much stroke as they make it seem in the women's division. If it's like, oh, Sheena made me look bad. Fuck her. She doesn't get this match. Like, I'll do an angle with her, but, I'm
Oh,
going
I
to
see
cost
what
her
you're
this
getting
TV
at.
time.
So you almost think that, like, Britt... No, you know what? I bet it was, because it seems like they never even showed Sheeta. They just showed Britt coming out of the locker room, and then they said that Sheeta was not clear to compete. I bet you that it's not anything to do with that, and that it's related to Sheeta not being available because of, like, a visa thing or being out of the country or something like that.
Okay, that's more acceptable. I would just hate to think that, she's being kept down just because, she's really good at her job as a babyface.
I mean,
People
dude,
ate her fucking face
low
up,
key,
and
I
yeah.
think it might be worse than that. I think she's being kept down because Tony doesn't believe in Joshis anymore.
And honestly, if Kenny's out the door, which I'm not saying he is, it's purely speculative, I don't think he'd have any reason to, because I think Kenny was their biggest advocate while he was there.
For sure.
So, like,
well, and
if
dude,
you
well,
lose
that's
your...
the thing,
if you-
right? Like,
yeah.
when was the last time that you saw any Joshi other than specifically Sheeta on television?
On television, I can't even fucking remember, bro. Because, like, Sakura and stuff, they've been relegated to dark.
And
And
the thing
if
with
not
Sheeta
dark, like
is
fucking
the reason that
Elevation.
I want to exclude her is because she is the only one that AEW uses that speaks consistently fluent English with barely even an accent.
And, like, Tony wanted to use this excuse on Rosa recently.
Miyu.
Where it's
Now that I
like,
think
oh,
about
she's...
it, Miyu Yamashita is the only real exception I can think of, and they didn't have her talk at all, and they really didn't do anything to introduce the audience to her. They just had her lose a tag team match where her partner got pinned on one episode of AEW Dark, and then showed up on an episode of Dynamite to challenge their world champion, their women's champion, for the title. And that's literally all they did with her. and she's
Yeah.
like the literal ace of the so-called, partner promotion that you're kind of sort of in bed with, TJPW. Like, she's the fucking ace there, and you gave her that, and you put her in the dead spot too. Like, goddamn.
Yeah, and like, dude, more regular AEW fans, please correct me on this. Again, I have been very careful with my word choice and my speculation because I don't want to be one of those podcasts that talk out of our ass. We take, true information very seriously, all that stuff. But like, Tony recently seemed to imply, I think in his comments with like Thunder Rosa, I don't know if it was like a Twitter reply or what, because he's unhinged on Twitter sometimes with the thing, like this whole Swole situation. Never fucking forget that he openly blasted her on Twitter where like, why did you give Thunder Rosa like a rush fucking backstage segment? She had to vacate the title and EA Punk all this promo time. And he's like, oh well, Rosa isn't as much of a draw as Punk is. And you know what? Fine, fair enough. Let's accept that. But like, Riho is a genuine fucking draw. And when she was the women's champion, I don't remember her getting any segments that would be on par with like a CM Punk segment against any opponent, or even just her talking to the crowd, and people genuinely loved her. Like, did that ever happen, people, in Riho's reign? Because if I'm deliberately misremembered, like, call me out, please.
To be as
but,
fair
like,
as possible, Riho wasn't a draw for talking.
Well, she was a draw for wrestling, but I don't know. Maybe if they let her, like, show more of her personality in that way, maybe fans wouldn't have turned on her. I'm just saying, like,
Fans
it's just
never
weird
did
that...
turn on her.
Yeah, like... I just feel like if she's a draw, you give them a chance to do other stuff, and if that stuff is making numbers recede, well, then you don't do it, and that's fair enough. But like if they're proving to be a draw on something,
right? Is like he said, like, oh, she's not as much of a draw as CM Punk. My response to that will be, well, how do you know she can't be?
Well, exactly. That's the thing wrestling companies get fucking backwards. It's like there are people that are proven non-draws, and I want to emphasize proven non-draws.
Corbin.
And they still get platformed like Corbin. And I don't even hate Corbin.
Charlotte.
But the numbers don't Charlotte. I really don't like Charlotte, so I won't go there. But yeah, I don't even hate Corbin. But like, yeah, the numbers don't lie. Not doing a Steiner impression, making a serious point here. And like, but then the people that are like, oh, they're not a draw. But you've barely platformed them. How could you even fucking know?
Yeah, that's my
like,
thing.
what?
The goal of a wrestling promoter should be to give literally everybody a chance to shine, and those that do, push, and those that don't, repackage and try again. Don't just give up on anybody.
Exactly. No, I'm 1050% with you on that. I don't understand. I think the mentality is so backwards. Even if we're going within the parameters of business and capitalism, which I already hate, it just seems so counterintuitive to how you would want to run a business.
Well, and that's the thing, too. Javaris had a great point in chat. He said, and also, Tony, look at what happened with your big draw CM Punk, which brings us back to the original Vince problem of only wanting to build one dude. When you put all of your chips in on one person and something goes wrong with that person, whether it's an injury or in Roman's case cancer or in Punk's case backstage politic problems, or literally they just decide they don't want to show up to work one day, which is something Punk's also done, and something that Sasha and Naomi did, and for very valid reasons in our mind, but still, like, you shouldn't be putting all your chips in one basket or all your eggs in one basket, because when something goes wrong with that basket, everyone's just fucked. But if you build everyone and you make everyone have something that is appealing to certain members of the audience, then all of a sudden you can afford to lose people to injury or to the other company or to Hollywood in Vince's case, and it doesn't ruin your entire business model.
Yeah. I just see so much wrong with AEW. There's still a lot wrong.
Talking about this, I talked about how like Vince should be aspiring to be a pipeline to Hollywood, because what would that do if you create so many stars that a portion of them end up in Hollywood and become like The Rock or Batista level celebrities? Then what happens when those guys come back to your product, or when they plug your product, or when people find out like, oh, the WWE is a really great place to learn how to act in front of audiences? Then you're bringing in people that never would have been interested in wrestling before. Then you're not just bringing in fucking roided up 22-year-old college athletes thinking they're the shit with no personality. Then you're bringing
Yeah.
in, potential actors, potential character players that you never would have been able to draw in before from any industry other than just wrestling. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, look, when Nick Khan once said that he wanted WWE to be on the level of Disney, the statement on its face is ludicrous, but I think at least he was thinking in the right direction. Like, obviously, you're never going to achieve that, but you look at how relevant the Marvel Cinematic Universe is. I mean, look, there was a time where I thought comics were pretty marginal in our society, but now because they've had successful movie adaptations with the whole MCU, they've become the mainstream.
Well, that's the thing,
Like,
right? But
yeah,
like, comic books were on the margins for the longest time. The movies not only exploding and becoming successful in their own right, but the movies having that much success also made the comics more sought after. So even though the comics have existed forever, the movies being as successful as they were, all of a sudden we had a comic boom. And the comic books that have been around for decades started selling again, seemingly just because the movies were popular again.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it
Dude, that's
legitimately
why.
had like a trickle down effect that rich people try and convince the poor that works in the economy that doesn't, but still, it actually happened.
Dude, and that's why it's such a shame that Lucha Underground, in my mind, came just a little bit too early. Because if they had a bigger platform and the resources, like I could
Dude,
imagine the day coming where like a season of Lucha Underground is just condensed into a feature-length film with wide distribution, and I'd be very curious how that shit would do because it would just
straight
be
up,
it'd be like nothing
if
anybody would
Lucha
ever seen.
Underground would have started like within the last year and they would have had the entire pandemic to recruit people, it would have been one of the greatest promotions of all time, and it already basically was in my mind.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it would have, but then I think it would have had more eyes on it because they could have gotten more big names. They could have gotten Keith Lee. They could have gotten Swerve after he already had his WWE stint. They could have gotten Samoa Joe. Like they could have had many more big names. Really, the biggest name that they had was a like 5 years from removed from being relevant in wrestling fans' eyes, John Morrison.
yeah,
Like that, dude,
yeah,
he was their biggest name. Him or like fucking Ezekiel Jackson, right? Rick Stevens, Big Rick.
yeah, yeah.
Those were their two biggest names, and like maybe Chavo. Like, but like you take somebody that has literally danced with Randy Orton within the last calendar year, like Keith Lee did at SummerSlam in 2021, and holy shit, all of a sudden now there's people that are putting eyes on the goddamn product, you know?
Exactly. And dude, like I don't know how you can look at an experience like Lucha Underground, which was a blueprint for an entirely new way to do wrestling, and specifically wrestling as a
Bruh,
television medium.
bruh, Serena Deeb just pinned the women's champion.
Wow. I like Serena, so I'm
Holy
cool with the feud, but wow, I can't believe Athena didn't eat the pin there.
Why does AEW treat their women's champions the way WWE treats their Money in the Bank holders?
I have no idea.
Like, oh, they are holding either the briefcase or the AEW Women's Championship, so we can afford to beat them. They can take a
Oh,
loss. They
and
have the title / briefcase.
exactly.
Holy shit! That sell by Athena was incredible on that curb stomp. Goddamn.
And of course, Britt stands tall.
Jamie's coming out. Oh, there's no way. There's no way. She's gonna help Britt. She's gonna help Britt. There's no way she's turning on Britt here. She's gonna help her. They're gonna reunite. Told ya.
Yeah, you're ahead of me, so I'm just about to see this. Got to the bag there.
So she only used the chair on Tony, on the women's champion. She didn't use it on Britt, but she didn't, she didn't make up with Britt either.
Yeah, because Britt's still saying, like, I'm sorry, Jamie. Yeah, sorry my ass.
Yeah.
Jamie should be the women's champion. You fucking robbed her and all of us of that. Fuck you forever.
Oh, Joe Woods. I want to watch that.
If that opens and or that main events, that might be the only thing I'd want to just react to on Rampage. We can do like a one-match reaction.
Yeah. I'm
Because
definitely
that
down for
does
that.
genuinely look good. I fuck with Josh Woods.
Part of me actually kind of hopes that Wardlow costs Josh Woods that match so that we can get Wardlow Woods on Dynamite the following week.
That'd be great. And Josh Woods is a beast, y'all.
Yeah.
I like this dude. I mean, Joe's a fucking legend, so enough said.
All right. Yeah, that's going to be lame as fuck. Page versus Danhausen. I don't care about either one of them. Penelope Ford versus Willow Nightingale. That could be fun.
Penelope
Matt
Ford is
Hardy
cool,
versus
and
Darby
Rowan.
Allin. I'm actively against watching that. Like,
Yeah, my body viscerally rejects it.
yeah. Next week, Dynamite Grand Slam. Moxley versus the winner of tonight's main event, I'm assuming. Serving Our Glory versus the
Yes.
Acclaimed, of course. Are we getting Tony Britt again? Oh, four-way! Tony, Serena, Athena, and Britt. God, why does Britt have to stay relevant in these? Fuck. Pat Cassidy.
Jamie
nice.
should cost her that match.
So that's for the All-Atlantic Championship.
That should be a good match.
Oh, and next Friday we're getting Action Bronson and Hook versus 2.0.
Ugh.
Up next, Jericho Danielson, main event time.
Yep, just saw that graphic myself.
Uh,
I hope this match is good. Their all-out match was good because Dynamite really has done nothing for me.
Yeah, honestly,
That 30 seconds of Jamie Hayter was pretty good, though.
that was one of the best moments on this entire show.
Yeah.
Which is
That's
really
why when you
fucking
said
sad
earlier-
for the rest of this show.
Yeah, that's why when you said earlier, like, you're just kind of over Dynamite, like, I didn't even... I'm like, what? I didn't know. It's like, no, I'm right there with you.
Dude, I don't know. It's a vibe thing, I think. It really is just a vibe thing. I really think that this is less of a Dynamite problem and more of a me problem because you look online and you don't really see much criticism of Dynamite. And when you do, it's rare and, you know, it's fleeting. It's few and far between kind of thing.
Shit on the product even further, but I still to this day wonder how much of it is genuine AEW love and how much of it is just like, you know, it's almost like the Democrat thing where it's like, oh, we're not Trump, and except the wrestling equivalent would be we're not WWE. How
Well, the
much of it
irony
is
that
do you genuinely love
WWE is
AEW?
kind of the
on
hot thing to like again now because Triple H is in charge, and now all of a sudden it's popular like WWE again. So we're seeing who the fucking, you know, bandwagon jumpers are.
Yeah. And I'm like, you guys both do some things well, but Stardom is fucking queen in this bitch.
Bro, I'm gonna put it right out there right now. If you want to skip the main event tonight, I'm down.
Cool with that. You want to wrap it the fuck up here? Let's get out of here. We get to games earlier, I guess. I mean, I have some
I'm
things to
still
take care
gonna
of, but
have
only
it
be
on
like
in the background. But I am not up to react to a fucking 20-minute match right now. I'm just not. Even if it is Jericho and Danielson, I'm just not up for it, honestly.
Yeah, I'm not up for it either. I've got some stuff to take care of anyway before you and I really settle in, but that would just allow me to do it earlier and for us to get settled in earlier. So
Yeah.
I'm cool with getting the fuck out of here. I'm
All
over
right,
this.
guys. Well, apologies for cutting out early. I think this is our second week in a row doing it, but maybe just tell AEW to have more interesting main events and to not give them the last quarter of the fucking show. As simple as that. We hope that you're all looking forward to our Stardom reactions tomorrow. I know that we are. Like I did say, we will be looking at the timestamp, and if the show is over 3 hours, I say we go live at 5 if that's the case. John, are you down for that?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
And then we'll do the 12th show, the 9/12 show on Friday. But if the timestamp is under 12 hours or under 3 hours, we will be going live at 4 tomorrow, and then also at 7 tomorrow for both of those shows back to back. And then we'll just have nothing on Friday to worry about. So we hope you're looking forward to that stuff, and of course, we hope that you're able to remember to stay tuned.